Come to the masjid and tell us, why don't you have a
Alhamdulillah, the school has grown in a way that everybody wants to see it grow.
What made me enroll at Ibrahim College was the fact that Ibrahim College was unique compared
so many different cultures.
I've been a trustee in Islamic Shakhsiyah Foundation around 5 years.
The way the school is run, I think it's very professional.
My kids to be brought up in an Islamic environment.
Allah had blessed this if Allah didn't want it. If Allah wasn't pleased with it, He wouldn't.
Incorporates Islam in all the subjects, whether it's math.
As you know,
For the girls, it doesn't make any difference.
We do a whole range of things to engage the local community.
Trying to improve our poem from yesterday.
Excellent. Mainstream academic sciences along with the Islamic sciences, it was...
And the head mistress of the girls' second.
As an independent school, we do have a certain degree of choice with what we teach.
What's probably quite different about Shakhsiyah is that we are a group of mothers who started out homeschooling essentially, and we didn't actually have the intention initially to set up schools. That's something that happened about 4 years into us running various homeschooling groups. I think for us what was really important was understanding what it means to bring up a child Islamically. And education is just a part of that upbringing, it's part of that tarbiyah. And often as Muslims we see tarbiyah and education as synonymous.
I've been a trustee in Islamic Shakhsiyah Foundation around 5 years, just like when I joined Islamic Shakhsiyah Foundation when we started as home tuition groups, and it spread around, and then we decided, okay, we gather these children to be just like in one group, and there we found Islamic Shakhsiyah Foundation 10 years ago.
I'm Sister Huma, and I take year 3. I've been teaching here for over 5 years. And last year I had year 2 and I had the same class, so they've just worked up with me. Every year what happens when children come into year 2, they stay with the same teacher for 2 years so that the teacher can actually see them develop and work through with them, and she knows exactly, and you know, that's how if there is any need to develop them in their shakhsiyah for a particular thing, she's able to identify that and work through it.
I've been teaching for 3 years now. And yeah, I'm responsible for making sure that those children have the best Islamic personality in accordance to my ability, obviously, to try and nurture them and teach them in accordance to Islamic teachings to better themselves.
Yes, my role is in terms of as education. We're a charitable trust that is promoting Islamic education, so there's a whole range of things that we're doing. I suppose our main activity is running 2 primary schools, one in Slough, one in Haringey, and we also run, attached to those 2 primary schools, 2 daycare centres known as Stifley Daycare. We have in the past also done secondary homeschooling, and we still have links with a number of homeschooling groups at the moment who are doing something similar to what we want to achieve. We also have been doing, since I think for over 10 years now, we've been doing teacher education courses, and we're quite well known for that. We specialise in Islamic teacher education, so looking at the principles and the philosophy of Islamic education from the Quran and the Sunnah, and looking at how different scholars have said these can be realised in the modern world, and giving teachers practical ways of embedding that into their practice.
What other issues did we discuss? About all the huge venues. Do you remember all these huge venues being built?
You know, I have been teaching for over 12 years now, but in Shakhsiyah I've been only here for 5 years, and since I've been here, I feel that you know, I have the freedom to teach them the way I want to, and the best part about it is that I can bring Islam into everyday teaching, into every subject, into the way they're walking, the way they talk, the way they play, and even through the subjects, because we have integrated curriculum and we have thematic planning, and the best of all is our halakha program, which integrates all the other lesson into it.
What do we have to do? Tell me what we have to do. Instead of giving me the answer, tell me what we have to do. Excellent. Does A go into 32?
Yes, it does.
Doesn't it?
It does.
It does. How many times?
3 times.
I didn't actually teach anywhere else before I started teaching here. This was my first experience. I was actually admin somewhere else before doing office work. But then I decided that I wanted to go into something in the field of teaching. So this is the first job I've had in terms of in this career.
The king? Okay, well done. Malik means king. Right.
He's the king of until the day of judgment.
The king of the day of judgment.
Well, when I came to Islamic Shakhsiyah, I actually initially started off as the admin here, so I was working in the office. Then I took a bit of a break, and then I came back, and I knew that Farah, the head teacher, that she was really supportive in terms of her staff, and that she was offering training. So when I came here, she did offer me training through the summer, and then I also enrolled on the ITEC course, the Islamic Teacher Education course, which basically I did that about 2 years ago. And that was really, really helpful. Then attending insets as well, and just observing other teachers before I came into it myself, having a look at planning, etc.
Flower. Do you remember Shams Wardat Shams? And do you remember last time we drew Wardat Shams and we made it beautiful, and we have such a beautiful display over there, don't we?
Yes.
I'm a teacher. I'm teaching year 3, 4, 5 in the school, and then we have another Arabic teachers, and we have Arabic teachers for early years. What I do during the day is just like teaching, and then again supporting the Arabic teachers in the school, and the supposed to be just like the other branch too. As a head of Arabic, I'm working for the last few years to develop the Arabic curriculum in the school, where we're doing our own resources, our own flashcards, and it's just like we're implementing a new way of teaching Arabic. It's just like to improve the. We're hoping that by year 6, children can manage to do the GCSE Arabic, and I hope that we already manage this. A few years, it's just like we have children by age of 11 who done their GCSE Arabic, and they got age 11 to 13, and they managed to get between A stars to C.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
We found that the halakha format was something quite important in terms of tarbiyah. So we built our curriculum around halakha. So halakha is the backbone of the curriculum, and then all the other things impact that. Now, in Islam, knowledge, understanding of the world around you is a holistic thing. And although you do need disciplines, you need different subject areas to establish how to move forward in particular things. So, every discipline has its code, if you like, its principles. Although that's important, we felt that at an early age, it's really important to understand Islam as a whole, Islam as a deen, and to understand the world in a holistic way. So we've always had this idea that everything needs to be integrated, all the knowledge needs to be integrated and not separated out. So our thematic creative curriculum, which we've been developing for a number of years now, and again is used by a few other schools who've purchased it and are using it, is designed to do that, to make children have real life learning.
All right, and eventually what we need to get to is this. What is this? Mustafa?
So, you want to host a Shakhsiyah script event?
What do you mean by that?
We start with halakha in the morning. and then work through the day. So if we have halaqah in the morning, then that gives them sort of the setting for the day, what the children know what they will be doing in literacy, in numeracy. For example, we at the moment we are doing environment, and what we do in the morning in the first lesson, while we have our discussion, that's our oral discussions, a sit down circle time, and they know exactly what they're going to do throughout the day. So sometimes it is hard to integrate Islam into your daily lesson plans because resources are not readily available, and you have to produce them the way you want them to be. And sometimes, you're at a shortage of reading material or something that is going to be perfect for your lesson. And so you do need to be very creative. You do need to put in a lot of extra time at home, a lot of extra reading, research, and then you need to make sure that whatever you're giving to the children, that is from reliable sources. So it is very difficult, and it's because every day you're teaching them something new. You want your plans to be perfect, and yet you want them to be very interesting. So sometimes you're really at a loss because there's not much available on the internet.
Are we going to a park?
Are we going to a park?